Hey crafters, it's Janet with Crafting It Up in Creation. So coming at you today with an awesome new video. I'm super stoked about this one. I was going to do a completely different one using that crackle paint yesterday, and I just had this idea of doing the faux wood grain. Now I have done this on tumblers before and absolutely loved the effect. So I'm going to show you what I used on these, and again we're going to pull out those alcohol inks once again. So I know a lot of you had so many questions and just loved the geode ones that I thought you would really enjoy this. So I'm going to use the little disc ornaments that I just got from Michael's the other day. And I would have loved to use one of the Dollar Tree ornaments because they are so much bigger. Like, you have a lot more room on them. But I gave my last one away in the giveaway that I'm sending out today. And I haven't been able to find any more at the Dollar Tree. Now I'm going to use this marshmallow white paint from Arteza. I'll have an affiliate link down below, no extra cost to you. If you're interested in these outdoor acrylic paints, I'm really impressed with them. But if you have any other white acrylic paint, then that will work just fine. I'm also tempted to use maybe like a flat color paint, possibly where it wouldn't have that shine to the wood at the end. So I may try that in a future video just to show you what I come up with. But as far as the technique, everything should be the same. Now I try to paint all in one direction. Even if I had to cover an area, I go back and stroke over it with that single stroke so it all looks like it's uniform. And here it is dry. And as you can see, it all is all one piece. You know, like I took it from the top of the ornament to the bottom of the ornament. Now we're going to build up color. So we're going to use this sunshine yellow, this pebble, which is kind of like a grayish brown, and then also this espresso, which is a dark brown. Now you can use any color browns depending on what color wood you like, but you want to start out with a yellow base. And it's really important because we're going to do this and we're going to build up on this color. Now I'm using a brush because I tried this out to make sure it would even work first before I went to the trouble of recording it. I don't clean my brush off. It's fine because what we're going to do is build this color up. And basically when you brush across this alcohol ink, you're kind of almost like dry brushing it. And you're just going to keep flowing the color out until it spans out to the length of, until it won't go anymore basically. And you'll notice I just use a regular paintbrush every time that I drop some on an area that already had the alcohol ink on it. It takes away that color for a second, so don't get freaked out. You might see it again here in just a little bit when I go over it with other colors. If your color runs away from you like it did just now for me, just go back over it and keep brushing over it. And the awesome thing about alcohol inks, they are so forgiving. So you're going to be able to work with it. If you have an area that you don't like or it didn't have very good coverage, you can go right back over that again. So now we're going to move on to the pebble. And you can already see the yellow kind of gives you some of those lines as if it were wood grain. And we're going to build up the color again with the pebble. We're going to pretty much go over the entire ornament with that pebble. These were so much fun. I ended up doing about 6 of these. I still have another idea for some ornaments like these. If y'all are interested in these, I know that a lot of these clear ornaments are very abundant at the Dollar Tree this year. I think the quality on them is a lot better, and you can use the round ones versus these disc ones as well. I just thought it would be easier on these while I was doing them. But I have done a few others using those little round ones. And I'm super excited about the plastic ones. Years ago, all they had were the glass ones. And my kids were even a little younger then, so I was always nervous. I've broke a couple here or there, usually decorating on them, not so much where I'd hung them on the tree or anything. But, you know, it happens. But that's the great thing about the plastic ones, and even getting your kids involved in doing something like this, I think that would be so much fun. I wish my kids took an interest in some of this. And again, I'm just building up on the color. I'm so excited. So at the end of the video, I'm going to share with y'all the giveaway for today. And it's such an awesome, awesome giveaway. I hope you're thrilled with it as much as I am. But again, I'm just going to build on the color. If you don't like an area, just go right back over it. It is so awesome. I love alcohol inks. And I've done this, like I say, I've done the faux wood grain on tumblers. And so I was sitting there last night and I thought, let's try it on an ornament. So now I'm going to move on and use the espresso. And you're basically just going to keep building up color. Now I do admit if I went too far with some of this, it did start to wear down the paint a little. So you kind of want to go quickly. You don't want to leave it set there too long. The alcohol ink, that is, because it will kind of pull the paint up. I only noticed that just a little bit on a couple of the ornaments, like a little small spot. When I went over it with the espresso, you couldn't really even tell that paint was missing right there. But I think it's just where I kind of left it, the alcohol ink laying on it. Now as you go over it with the third one, it's almost going to have, almost feel like a sticky texture to it as you're painting back over and over. And if you sit in one certain area and keep going up and down, it will create those lines that kind of look like that wood grain. And hopefully I'll kind of show you just, when I go over it and keep going over an area, how you get those the little lines and definitions. And sometimes you'll find like, I just messed up that really cool area, but you can kind of make it again. And no matter how hard you try, I'm going to actually show you two different ones. None of them will look the same as I'm making them. Like, it's just entirely impossible to make them all look the same. But you can just keep building up on this color until you're satisfied. And these alcohol inks, they are somewhat expensive. They do put them on sale routinely at like Joann's and Hobby Lobby, I know for sure, and even Michael's. I would watch the prices. There's a little bit of difference in between some of the colors even. Some are like $11.99 for 3, some are $9.99. So I would just keep an eye out for that, but a lot of times they put them at least 30% off when they put them on sale. I want to say Hobby Lobby does at least 40. But I don't know. Their Tim Holtz stuff's a little bit different. But you can always go in and use your 40% off coupon, buy a set, go back in, buy another set, get your husband to buy a set. Maybe send your kids through the line to buy another set. So we're going to do it again. We're going to build up that color. I didn't wipe my brush off or anything. But we're just going to apply that sunshine yellow. And I tried to take the paint all the way up to the top. I noticed a couple of the ornaments, I didn't quite take it all the way to the top. So just keep that in mind, because your bow will cover a lot of it. But you want to try to get that up to the top part as much as you can. Then we're going to go back over it with that pebble. And I just try to sweep my brush in the same line that I did the paint, so that it all kind of goes up and down. If you wanted to go crossways, you certainly could. I would just keep all your brush strokes in that same direction. And I don't know. I love how these turned out. I was so excited last night thinking about this. And I'll admit, the first 3 or 4 videos this week, maybe the first 3, I had taped ahead of time, and some of these others I've kind of just worked on as the week went by. I've had just so much going on. My middle daughter was supposed to see a cardiologist yesterday, and we sat in traffic for 30 minutes in a work zone, and they wouldn't see us, so... And I completely understand that they need to keep a schedule, but I couldn't tell you how many times I've sat in a doctor's office for 20, 30 minutes before I was even seen, and we would have been 10 minutes late. So I was super frustrated. So I did have to come home and craft that out last night. Watch the Nationals lose. It's just been one of those days. So anyway, things could be worse. They have been worse. We will push through because that's what we do. So I hope you're listening to me ramble on as I go through and just kind of show you, if you concentrate in an area and just keep dragging your brush, then you'll get a buildup of color along the outer edges of that area. And that'll give you the wood grain look. This one I thought looked too up and down, so I wanted to add some areas of interest on it and some lighter areas to maybe look like knots in the wood. And so I'm just going to take my brush and just keep dragging it almost in the same area. And this is kind of where you have to watch out for pulling up some of the paint to keep going over a certain area, because it's just so wet. So if you let it dry and then even go back over it again, it'll work out really well. Like I say, the alcohol inks are so forgiving. I mean, and I think this is just so much fun.
I do try
to
like
to
do
see what
a
you
few
can
different
create.
things, and I guess
when
since
you
I was on this
look at it when it's all
woodland
said and done, and you're like,
kick,
wow,
that
I
looks-
thought this
that
would
really
really
does
be a
kinda
lot of
look
fun.
like that
And
wood
I
grain
think even
finish.
for the open-faced ornament,
and this is not
this
any
would
kind
be a
of
lot of fun.
original
So I
idea
may
of
end
mine.
up
This is
creating
just
one of
something that I
those
saw on
and
a
leave the
tutorial
technique part
out
for
of it.
tumblers. Or even just
I
do a
thought
project
last night
share
before I
and show
painted,
you, the
one of the
outcome
balls a
of some
different
of the
color for a
open-faced
different
ornaments. Because the
technique I
ones
was
at the
gonna
Dollar
do.
Tree have, they
I
have like
thought,
a really
ooh,
nice opening
wood
to
grain
them.
one.
Some of the ones even from Michael's are they're nice. I mean, they're all good quality, but that opening to the one for the Dollar Tree is like huge, and so you could fit like a cute little bird in there, even, I believe, in like a little nest or something. I think that would be cute. And I kind of slowed this part down just so you can see me kind of go over that same area and build up the lines on the outer edge. Wherever you put the alcohol down, if you swipe it up, it kind of builds up along the sides of there, and it just kind of, and that's what gives it that kind of wood grain look, is that little buildup of color along the edges of wherever you're swiping your paintbrush down. And if you're, like I say, if you're not satisfied and you don't think it looks wood grain enough, you just go right back over that area. And that's what I absolutely love about them. I love alcohol inks. I love using them in card making things and different things. There's so many different techniques that you can use with them. So they're a lot of fun. If you haven't ever tried them, just the abstract of it. And I'm kind of OCD. Like, I like things to look a certain way at times, but this doesn't stress me out. Like, I'm like, just keep playing with it until you're satisfied with how it looks. And a couple of the ornaments that I did last night, I would go back, look at them, and think, oh, let me add a couple other things to them. Now, these two little ornaments, I got these last year at a Cracker Barrel. They have like tons of little ornaments, but these were 99 cents, and I thought that these would be fun to add to open-faced ornaments, even to have it dangling down from the center. But I thought, I'm going to put these on the outer edge of it, and it'll kind of look like it's a little painting on the wall, or like a wood piece on the wall, I guess I should say. And I took and did another knot at the very end of that piece of string. And I just decided just to go ahead and loop it around the ornament and just glue it down with a little bit of hot glue. Not too much so it wouldn't melt the ornament. Although I haven't had that be an issue yet, except for when I left the hot glue gun right up against an ornament. It did melt it a little. So I just flip it around to the back, add a little dab there. And then I kind of had it hanging where I thought I wanted it to lay, and made sure that that looked okay. And then I'm just going to add this really pretty velvet ribbon that I got from Joann's. I just tied a little bow and stuck it on top of there. And some of these, you don't want to add a whole lot to these ornaments, in my opinion, just because you want it to have that the focal point is the actual wood grain. And so even if I don't do a complete fairy tree, I think the woodland theme tree would be really cool. So now I'm super excited about trying this with the open face ornament and adding some stuff in the center. I think that would be even cuter than the geode one, honestly. If I could figure out a way to cut open some of the little mason jar ornaments and put a hole in those would be really cute too to create that scene with. Now this, I'm going to show you, I took a paint marker and I wrote JD, heart JD, and then I'm going to take a towel and dab away the excess paint and take a different section each time you dab. And it looks like I've burnt that into the wood or carved it in there, and I love that look. I'm going to show it to you again here in just a second, I believe, because I did my brother's initials and his wife on one as well, because I thought, oh, I bet they would like this one. And like I say, I dab it with the towel, and then I just flip over the towel every time I go to dab, or otherwise, the paint that you get on the towel will get in on around it. But I thought that looked so good. And it kind of does, since it's a paint marker, it does kind of have that 3D effect feel even. And I did add forever on there. That reminds me of when we were younger. It's silly, but it was fun. So here are some of the ornaments that I've done. I'm going to show you them on the tree, and I'm going to have some still shots here at the end as well. I used, this bow is from Hobby Lobby, or the ribbon itself is from Hobby Lobby. It was in like a set of neutral colors. I love it. I've done used it all. That's one of my absolute favorite ones. Of course, I had to use some buffalo check ones as well. The little poinsettia is from Hobby Lobby. I ended up taking those pip berries off. I just wasn't happy with them. I didn't have them glued down, so. And then I added a few of these little white stems. The fluffy one is from Joann's this year, and the little white piece is from Hobby Lobby. The little poinsettias are from Hobby Lobby. The ribbon on this ornament is actually from Joann's. I really like it, but it frays on the ends really bad. This little velvet bow is from Joann's. That ribbon is. They also have a really pretty dusty pink color as well. I love it. But I'm just going to go through and show you all the different ones and some still shots. And then I'll have some video of it as well, of all the different ones that I made. Like I said, I kind of got carried away. I made about 6 of them. I painted some with the acrylic paint, and one of them was already dry, and so I thought, well, I'm going to go ahead and paint 5 more. And I painted those, went back to the first one that I knew was dry, did it, and then by that time, it just slowly I went through and just did all of them as I had painted them, and it worked out really well. Like, this came together really quickly. I hope this is fun and new and different and something that you haven't seen before. I strive to kind of do that, but I do think that no matter what, if you've seen someone else do it, seeing someone else, another person even attempt it, can provide you with so much fun information at times, just because they have a different take on it no matter what. I just love how these came out. And the whole initial thing was kind of an afterthought. I did that on one of the cups or the tumblers that I made for Jim. And I thought, well, this would be fun. How can I get the initials on there? And I thought maybe that the paint marker would pull some of that color, and then I would go back in with a lighter color, but I liked the way it looked. So these are the Spectrum Noir markers that I'm going to do for the giveaway. As you can see, they're regularly priced $49.99, and these are $19.99, and you get a set of 24 in here, which is a super awesome deal as it is. But of course, if you win them, even better. They have the fine tip and like the chisel tip to them, And these are in the color of Naturals, which I think is an awesome set. You get the really pretty browns, really pretty greens. There's some pink and reds in there. The orange and the yellows kind of they blend really well. So like these are a really good set of colors. And then the other one is actually going to be the Essentials, which is an awesome set as well. And these are the same. They still have the fine tip and the chisel tip. And they are permanent alcohol markers. And these are the colors that's included. I have got a few stamps where I've wanted to do the hair. And I've watched like Christina Werner do coloring on her cards. And like she's awesome. If you want to see how to color hair, that's whose channel you need to visit. But it's got all the great browns in there and really pretty pinks in there. And there is the black, and the colorless blender is included in this set as well. So you'll get those. If you have any questions about the giveaway or wasn't sure exactly how I explained it, just see the drop box down below. But you have to have watched Thursday, Friday, and today's videos, and you have to have liked and commented on those, and as well as be subscribed to my channel in order to be in the giveaway. I know I've picked up a lot of new subscribers this week, and I'm so very grateful for you. I'm very grateful for all of you who have stuck with me through this. And I appreciate each and every one of you. I wish I could give you all something, but I thought maybe this would make it super special and hopefully even fun. Like, I hope that this week has been fun for you guys as well. It's been a really good thing for me. I went a little bit out of my comfort zone and decided to do this week-long special, so I hope that I've given you all kinds of new ideas and different takeaways on things that you can do with Christmas ornaments. As always, thank you so much for stopping by and spending time with me. I do love you all and appreciate it so much. I hope you get a moment to craft it up. Take care.